So we managed to steelbook with the collector's edition on Nisa's Thor. Ugh, man. I just had to pre-order a PS5. Don't make me pre-order video games too. Okay, so I think we came from there. We got this treasure down here. We can go this way. Oh, the bridge is out. Oh yeah, the robust lingerie. How is lingerie robust? That's what I want to know. What makes it robust? Why does Nira look like Bulma? Because the artist is Akira Toriyama, and Akira Toriyama is famous for not being very imaginative with his character designs. You ever heard the expression, the 7 faces of Toriyama? Because he can only really ever make 7 faces, usually. Yeah, if it wasn't for RPG Chick, I would not have had a pre-order at all. Because we were watching a movie, and all of a sudden they're like, by the way, pre-orders are going up. And it's just like, she just kind of sat there silently on her phone, managing the whole thing, and she's like, okay, I got pre-orders. And I was just like, oh. Okay. But it kind of pissed me off because, like, they specifically were saying, yeah, you know, pre-orders won't go up today. And then, yeah, that was a lie. I'm pretty sure it's the fault of Walmart, and I don't mind blaming Walmart because they're scum of the earth. But they are the ones that you know, shot first, basically. They're the first ones to be like, pre-orders are open. And Walmart is the type of company that would totally do that just to make sure that they get all the sales first. Because they're assholes. And then every other company had to respond in kind, except Amazon was actually a bro and waited till midnight. Out of nowhere, the party hear a voice. Honk, do you hear me? Do you hear the voice of your mother? You mustn't set even a foot in the hot lava. Use the aspersorium. Then you will be able to proceed to the altar of evil where Grandmaster Nimzo lies in wait. I will no longer try to stop you, my son. Honk, you must use the aspertorium. Okay. Honk uses the aspersorium, but nothing happens this time. Maybe Honk has to use it? Use the Asper cream, and it makes the burning go away. Every time you bring a Mystic Quest, you compare it to Legend of Mana, which I think is not correct. FF Legend games are a different series that was rebranded as an FF game. MQ was made to be a Final Fantasy game. Well, what I mean by it's not a Final Fantasy game is it's not a main Final Fantasy game. Like it was a one shot. You know what I mean? It's like it's not like a main numbered Final Fantasy game, and it's not a Final Fantasy spin-off game, so where does it belong in the Final Fantasy set of games? It's kind of like alongside Final Fantasy Tactics, right? Where it's just this random side game that was just given the Final Fantasy name and has almost nothing to do with Final Fantasy. Yes, it's a Final Fantasy game, but like, it's a Final Fantasy game in name only. It is Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, I get that. I just don't think it's like, it belongs like as a game that anybody should expect anything more out of, you know? It is there. It had its thing. It's gone. The end. Nothing happens. What the hell? I don't like this at all. Oh, Sagestone, that's right. I forgot about that. So, well, people are theorizing that Ivalice is going to be the setting for Final Fantasy 16. And there's only hearsay right now about whether or not that's true. It's not like Game Boy FF Legends. That's fair. You're right. You're right. No, you're right. It wasn't a different game that was given a Final Fantasy name to hide the actual genre, but it was just kind of the name was just kind of tagged on just to sell copies, you know. Oh, absolutely. There's definitely a lot to suggest that it is Ivalice. There's some very, very, very strong arguments to be made that it is Ivalice. The only thing that we know for sure, though, is that it is high fantasy. And if you ask me, if it's high fantasy and Final Fantasy Tactics Ivalice universe, there is a lot of unpacking to do, because that would make it like in the same time frame as Final Fantasy Tactics, which would be a lot of questions would start popping up at that point, you know? People are gonna actually flip their shit if it's not only Ivalice, but also job system, you know? We need to see a Cactuar to confirm. Yeah, true. No, you're not wrong. I like it when your friends succeed, even if I'm not down for a pre-order, I was happy to try and help my friends. Aww. That's cool. What a guy. Yeah, Andy will flip out if there's a Cactuar shown. You know, the thing though is Berserk that the FFT Ivalice Cactuar wasn't really a thing until FF12, so, I mean, that may or may not confirm anything, to be perfectly honest. We gotta use it here. She said, "Do not take even a single step into the lava." Oh, I can't even take a single step into the lava. FF12 took place before FFT. Yeah. Yeah, the basically they kind of made the world that was the ruins of FFT into a live world, you know. So we know that the world of FF12 eventually falls to ruin. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. This feels fair. Hey, Suntop, what's up? I mean, Vagrant Story is it's hard to say that Vagrant Story is Ivalice. Like, yeah, and like the hardest definition, Vagrant Story is Ivalice, but like they've kind of backed out on that retroactively and said, yeah, it actually wasn't representative of Ivalice, and it's no longer something we consider as part of Ivalice. So technically you're not wrong, but also technically you're wrong, you know? Because they just weren't happy with the way that game turned out, and it wasn't fully representative of Ivalice. A lot of rules changed in Ivalician universes since then, so I think that's kind of why they backed out on that. The reason I want to pre-order for a PS5 right now, though, is so that I can A, prepare for the cost of a PS5, and B, they are artificially stifling the like availability of PS5s. Like, when have you ever been in a situation where Sony was like, "Oh gosh, we're out of consoles. Whatever are we gonna do?" Never. The answer is never. Nintendo is a little bit more guarded with the amount of quantity that they ship at any given time because they don't want to, waste money. But Sony is just like, yeah, just make sure they're in stock. Let's go, right? And so it's never been an issue. Not like Nintendo's issues anyway, with like the Wii and the Switch. So they're kind of creating this artificial hype for the limitation in order to provoke panic buying. And that means whether I want to be on board the panic buying train or not, it doesn't matter. People are going to panic buy the system to make sure that they have one on time. And as a streamer, even though there's a very high chance that I won't even be able to even play my PS5 until March, I just want to make sure I have one as a streamer and have those games and have it available to me for when the Fiesta's over, I can have one. Not to mention scalpers are definitely going to be a thing. So I'm not going to be the one that's like hoping there's PS5 in stock and calling companies every day to make sure. I'm just going to make sure I can get it and just be done with it, That's why. If it wasn't for me... Okay, now it goes away? Oh, okay, I guess I had to use it 5 times in order for it to work. I hate Pitfall dungeons. I hate Pitfall dungeons. That's what I hate. I just want to make sure I have it. That's it. The end. If it was... Oh, Metal King Slime. Hello. If it wasn't for streaming, I probably wouldn't care. No. If it wasn't for streaming, I wouldn't care. Remember when the Switch came out? I didn't care then because I was still new to streaming, and I wasn't I wasn't new to streaming, but I wasn't a variety streamer, right? So having the console and playing the games that I want to play when they come out wasn't an important thing to me. Wow. Please smash. Okay. Thick Becky, yeah. Okay, you can only cast it once. Good. 3 damage, 4 damage. I don't think there are like slime killing abilities in this. He's gonna rot. Yeah. I got 4 damage, but you're pretty much gonna need to smash those things to get them. But yeah, if I wasn't a streamer, or I wasn't a variety streamer, or I had no plans to play or speedrun any of the games coming out, then I wouldn't bother with the mad rush for a PS5. But we got pre-orders pretty painlessly, so, whatever. Meadows coming in with 53 friggin' months, dude. Thank you very much for the crazy continued support since day one. Thick curvy XP. But yeah, dude, the PS3 comes out, or 5 comes out in November 12th. That's 2 weeks before the Fiesta. Like, how much do you think I'm really gonna be able to play a PS5 game? By the way, it's also the day before Yakuza 7 comes out. Like, I am not gonna have very much opportunity to play the PS5 beforehand. Obviously, I'll be checking like what launch games are gonna happen and everything, and decide if I can play something alongside Yakuza 7 at the time. But chances are, And a week before Cyberpunk. Oh yeah, never mind. Cyberpunk and Yakuza 7 are going to be played before the Fiesta in an attempt to hopefully finish those both before the Fiesta starts. Yeah. Because when Fiesta starts, it's Fiesta time, baby. I feel like that's the right way, so we're going to go back. Because there was a tragedy right there. There it is. Great. Money that I don't need or want. Where's Sancho? Gone. Dead. I buried him in my basement. I'll get a PS5 when games that interest me will be released. Well, Demon's Souls is a launch game, and I'm already excited about that, so... And I know I'm going to want Horizon Zero Dawn. I know I'm going to want Final Fantasy 16. And there's a couple other games that I know I'm going to want, so it's like... I already have justified the spending for a PS5. It's already been justified, you know? Nice. Hey, Finn, what's up, buddy? Don't go up. We're just talking about PS5 and the amazing hype that is Final Fantasy 16. A Metal King Helm. There we go. Very glad I decided to turn back. Sun Crown, though, huh? Well, let's see who else can use it. I have the Zenthinian Helm, though. Well, let's see what this does. Doesn't appear to have any special effect. Doesn't appear to have any special effect. Well... I mean, the Sun Crown does, right? Yeah. I should give this to my boy. He needs the defense anyway. Pre-order video or preview of FF16 now 4K on YouTube. Very nice. This looks like a pretty rough battle. I kind of want to run away, but running is so dangerous in this game. Oh, great. The game looks rather dark. Anybody else having issues with the darkness of the game? Oh, you mean FF16. Honestly, when I saw blood in the preview video, I was like, damn, all right. We're taking it places. I'm about it. Hell yeah. I don't like it when games hide away, you know, hard-hitting kind of things like a little bit of blood or something. I want that intensity that it drives, you know? I want that. That's something I look forward to in games. Something that's a little bit more, you know, powerful. And not just like, oh no, they're bad guys. We must save the princess. Okay. Yeah, it kind of bugs me that like Final Fantasy is always shied away from any kind of like blood or... I mean, the storytelling in FF is always fantastic, but it's always just kind of romantic violence, like, if that makes sense, you know, where it's like, oh, he just they just dissipate into wisps into the wind or something, you know, instead of like the real stuff, you know, the real shit. What? What? She just got one shot, dude! Hello? There is a little bit more of a real kind of violence at Eva Elysian storytelling, yeah. Type 0 had blood, yes, sort of. It was more like a couple cutscenes were pretty brutal, and then then the rest of it was just gone. Someone made an awesome comment the other day. I think it was Casa. He was just like, people keep crying about real-time combat in Final Fantasy, and all I gotta say is, y'all need to stop stifling their creativity. Like, let them do the things that they want to do. They don't want to do turn-based Final Fantasies anymore. They've said that so many millions of times. You know, get over it. It's not going to happen. I don't remember the wording that he used, but it was really good wording. My wording is just kind of like, stop whining. His wording was actually really good. She was near a death. Hey, no, she was full HP. But yeah, like, Square Enix went on record a long time ago saying they don't want to do generic turn-based RPGs anymore. They want to do something new. They always want to like try to bring something new to the table, do different things, make different games, and not just make the same game over and over again. And if you want the same game over and over again, that's why DQ exists. DQ, honestly, they have the monopoly on RPGs. Because they have the DQ series to give fans that comfort of knowing what's coming next, you know? They know that DQ is gonna be DQ every single time. And then they have fans that want something new and different and to, like, you know, expand on what, you know, game design and see the evolution of it, and that's Final Fantasy. So, like, because Square Enix owns both of those IPs, they've got the market completely cornered on RPGs. I mean, I was in the same boat for a long time. Hey, Pegasus, what's up, dude? I was in the same boat, Suntop. I was, dude. Like, before I started streaming, every time I heard of, like, a Final Fantasy or RPG that wasn't turn-based, I would just, like, scoff and turn my head. And now it's like, I've played other games that were non-RPG turn-based stuff, and it's like, what does it matter if a Final Fantasy is turn-based or not? It matters if the game is just good and I enjoy it and it feels like a Final Fantasy game. The end. That's all that matters. You know? It doesn't have to be turn-based. Game evolution is a thing. Like, game design evolution is a thing. Things change. We were going to get different games all along. It was always going to happen, you know? If you can enjoy Dark Souls, or you can enjoy Horizon Zero Dawn, or you can enjoy Devil May Cry, or any other kind of action game, then you can enjoy an RPG that's an action game that has been traditionally turn-based in the past. It doesn't matter. I mean, you pick up like DQ Builders, and that's not a turn-based RPG, and you have so much fun doing the combat and everything, you don't care, you know? So, like, just apply that logic to a franchise, and there you go. Non-turn-based ephemeral Fantasia. Okay, please don't kill it, actually. Because I forgot to use a Sage's Stone, damn it. I'm envenomed anyway, I'm gonna have to heal. La da 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 da. Alright, let's heal up. There'll be more pre-orders, man. I think they're just creating artificial hype to get panic buys for the PS5s. Take Metroid Prime, it's a freaking FPS. Metroid games are not something you associate with FPS. And yet Metroid Prime is probably one of the most Metroid-y feeling games to date, right? You know? Oh, of course it is! Of course it is, Finn. Absolutely. Sony saw what happened to the Switch, and they're like, alright, we can create this hype situation. All we have to do is say there's going to be a limited number. They're not lying. Yeah, there will be a limited number. So then they just go, hey, yeah, guys, limited numbers, so we're gonna take favoritism to our PS4 customers. I bet you even PS4 sold just because of that. I would not be surprised. Probably because it's a different channel. You're getting multiple channels of audio and they can detect what's music and what's voice and then just separate them. Would be my guess. Oh, dude, yeah, we have been talking a lot about FF16, and we are all very excited over here. Absolutely. We're gonna wait until we hear more, obviously, but the initial cutscene has me very happy. You want a PS5 so you have a PS4 Pro? It's a good option, you know. From my understanding, you have to have your library like digitized and then you can download it onto the PS5 or something. I don't know exactly how it's gonna work, but it's definitely gonna be awkward. You can only have a digital version of the game on the PS5. I don't think you can put in the disc at all. They might have just been talking about PlayStation Plus member benefits or something like that. I'm not sure exactly how that works with the PS5 backwards compatibility, but if it's not just like straight up, if you have the disc version, you can put in the disc, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed, especially if they force it through PS Plus membership. That's also a bit shady, but I mean, I have PS Plus anyway, so personally, I don't care that much, but I think it's still kind of shitty to have to force your PS Plus membership to get your backwards compatibility. But then again, I mean, you still have your PS4, right? So Honk examines the ground. It's a goal. What luck? It's a goal roarer. Okay. Hey, Spirit's coming in again with the raid. What's up, dude? Welcome in. Hi, you've been hosting me a few times during this playthrough Dragon Quest V, and here we are again. We are, I personally think we're about a musical instrument for monsters. So is it a weapon, or is it an item to use? Goal roarer. We'll give it to him for now, just because I don't know what the hell that is. But I think we're about halfway through the game because we just got Wave of Ice for the first time, and it's always kind of been my experience that Wave of Ice rears its ugly head about halfway through a game, usually. And I hate Wave of Ice, by the way. I think it's the most absurd mechanic a DQ game can have. It's like, it just takes out all strategy and just makes it so you just smash face, heal up, you know? Okay, that looks final. Let's go up here first. Maybe healing. I'm guessing a healing point. Okay, this looks more final. Oh, I know what it is. This is the way to go, but downstairs is like the, if you fall, this is the recovery you take. What's the button do? Oh, wow. We're doing this, are we? Okay. We're doing Slidey Puzzle. I see. PS Now? Isn't it PS Plus? You know what? Maybe I might be wrong. Spirits, how was your stream, dude? Are you still doing DQ8? All that crazy stuff you gotta do for that one? You gotta goo for that one? Okay. If you guys like DQ, by the way, you should definitely give Spirits a follow. He's been doing a big old DQ event. You know what? Maybe these matter. Like I can fall into treasure use or something. I want to check this out. Okay, I can't. It looks like encounters have stopped in that room too, which is good. Am I gonna play Monster Hunter Stories? I like Monster Hunter, but I'm not sure if I want to play this newest release or not. Monster Hunter World was so good. Oh, Monsters Joker 2. So you finished DQ8 and everything within. Very cool. I feel like this room could have been made so much better if they just like made it a sliding puzzle and not walk around all the way through it. What I want to do is, I think the only one that has... Okay, I need to get this one up there. Or, no, not that one. It has to be this one then. It has to be the one I'm on right now. It has to be the one that gets up there. Alright, let's go. It's like PS Now for the library. I meant to say that it's PS Plus for the PS5. Oh, okay. From when you read and when you understand, it's only for the library of games to play like they did with the PS3 games on the PS4. Okay, oh, so it's just your PS Store login then. Okay. That's fine. That's acceptable. I think I just locked myself in. I guess I could go this way. Should I bring this? I think I should bring this one over here. That way I can do nothing. Can I sneak in? No. Alright, I gotta bring this one back out. Either this one or this one down here I need to bring over. I'm pretty sure if I bring this one over it's gonna lock me out though, but I could maybe sneak around. Nope. So how does the PS account tell you, like, know which games you have? Because like if you have a physical copy of a game, it's not gonna just be like you put in a disc and it's like, oh, you have this, now you can download it digitally. They're not gonna do that. Wait. Okay, no, I couldn't have gone in there. I think I have to reset it if there is a reset button. There isn't a reset button. Huzzah! Great! Great. 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 That's so... it's so great. I think we already determined that that one doesn't do anything. Oh, I see. It's if you have a digital version of a game, you can download it on PS5, but if you have the physical game, it'll go into the PS5 disk drive anyway, so who cares? Aha. I see. So, show of hands from Spirit's channel, who was hyped for Final Fantasy 16? Me being an absolute Final Fantasy fan, am very excited. Very, very excited. Oh, that's not it again. If you hype when you go back to turn-based, you're one of those turn-based purists? Yeah, I don't give a shit. If you can play an action game and enjoy an action game, then you can enjoy an action RPG that's Final Fantasy, you know? We were just talking about that earlier, actually, how it doesn't matter if they're turn-based or action. Square has gone on record many times saying that they're not going to do turn-based again because it's a tired and dead genre. And they're right. Turn-based is mostly dead. There's only been a couple RPGs turn-based that have released in the last few years that have been any good, and it's Persona 5 and Dragon Quest XI. And that's about it. There's nothing else turn-based that's really, really excelled in all arenas of game development. Every turn-based game that's come out that's been decent has been things like Octopath Traveler, which are like basically retro-styled games that lend themselves to a turn-based genre already, you know? If you're making a Final Fantasy, you're gonna have high visual fidelity, and that means you're not gonna do turn-based almost ever. So, if I were you, I wouldn't hold my breath. But if you can just enjoy an action game just because you enjoy it, then just enjoy an action game that's a Final Fantasy game and don't worry about the small stuff, you know? It's about whether or not the game is good, not about what genre it is. Of course, if you're just not into the genre, then whatever, like, nothing can be said for it. I want this puzzle to not have me walking over to each piece to move it. This is so frustrating. I can't brain this way. I can't sit here and strategize where I want my pieces to go when I can't see the board, you know? There's just no reason to have it like this. And I want to reset it is what I want to do, but going in and out doesn't reset it, so... Where's the lukewarm feeling? You know, whatever. Wait, did it reset? I don't think it did. Alright, so this is the piece I need to move around. Let's try going the other way now. Let's go this way. Nope. There will always be paper, yeah. If you want to do your turn-based, there's always pen and paper. I'm a person who enjoys multiple genres of games. I don't need to have turn-based. In fact, I personally think turn-based is a tired and old genre. It's done. It's been done a million times over and over and over again. There's nothing really left for a turn-based game to have in terms of like unique game design, unless you just want another RPG Maker clone or something, you know? Like, I'm over it. I still enjoy turn-based RPGs quite a bit. In fact, I do the Final Fantasy Fiesta every year, which is a playthrough through the entire franchise, and I enjoy playing those turn-based games again. But I enjoy them because I remember what they were like when they were new, and anything that comes out new is either retro style already, as a means to kind of like lend itself to that genre, or it's just not very good, you know? Except for DQ11 and Persona 5. The only two that have really stood out in terms of brand new, high quality, turn-based RPGs. Well, we're stuck again, unless we like... I guess we could do this. And then we'll have to do this one next. give you Chrono Trigger 2? Well, that ain't happening. Don't hold your breath on that one. Oh, shit. Chrono franchise is over and done with. The sooner you let that go, the better you'll be off. Chrono Trigger was a great game. Do you really think 25 years later they're just gonna nail that Chrono Trigger feel in a brand new game? You know? No, they're not. They're not. What if I could just bring all these around? I think I could just do it this way. And yeah, we got Chrono Cross, which is actually a very good game. Quite a good game. I've enjoyed the newer FFs, but they were never as great as they used to be in your eyes, because you prefer turn-based. I'll still play the games and find enjoyment in them. And I don't care about the genre, I don't care about turn-based or action, I see them for what they are, and I personally think FF15 is a near masterpiece. I love FF13, and FF12 is definitely very high on the list for me as well. And FF7 Remake, whoo! That is pure masterpiece. What a freaking magnificent game that was. But again, I don't care about the hard turn-based requirement, you know? And so like I don't stifle my ability to like see it, I guess. I'm not trying to like be arrogant or, you know, elitist. I know what not liking a genre does. You know, it's like, well, I don't like sports games, so when I look at Madden 2021, I'm just like, what a dumb game. This looks stupid. Why would anybody play this? It's the same game as last year, you know? So like, I get it. Like, not liking a genre as much as another genre makes you feel a different way about it. Whoops, that's not what I want to do. You still feel like there's something that could be done with turn-based, but yes, it's very limited. Right. I mean, I definitely think that there's something that can be done with turn-based. It's just like, what's easier to do? Think about some unique real-time mechanic or think about some unique turn-based mechanic, you know? Not to mention, real-time action games are much more exciting to play. And I think, honestly, if we were to take that turn-based energy and apply it to like strategy tactics games, we'd actually end up ahead quite a bit because we'd get that tactic, like that Final Fantasy Tactics kind of feel as well. And we still maintain our strategic, turn-based, you know, needs. They'd get met. You can't change personal preference. Exactly. You've heard how I feel about DQ games when compared to FF, and you're the opposite. We both aren't wrong. We just have our personal bias. Exactly. And the way I see it, and we were just talking about DQ versus FF. Like, DQ is that you know what you're getting out of it. It is DQ. It's going to do the same thing the DQ games have done. Just maybe tweak things here and there to kind of give it a slightly unique feel. But generally speaking, you are going to get a Dragon Quest game from a Dragon Quest release. From a main number, you know? Whereas Final Fantasy is always like on the kind of cutting edge of doing something new. I have played Felseal. Felseal was nice, yeah. But yeah, and it's like, some people want that pure turn-based feel, you know? And there's nothing wrong with that. It's personal preference. You want turn-based. He wants action. I want everything. I just want it all. I just want good games. If it's an action game or an RPG game or a tactics game or anything but a racing or sports game, and it's well made, I'm about it. Beat 'em ups, whatever. I'm about it. A good game of whatever genre is good by me. The end. You know, I like them all. If you go back into the like previous games that we played on this stream this year, you're gonna see quite a versatility of games. It is a broad selection. But I will say, that my favorite genre is RPGs. I will always, 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 always look at the new RPG and go, is this good? Do I want to play it? Now, there's a lot of crap out there, don't get me wrong, especially when you get like really cheap development and RPG Maker clone kind of nonsense. And I try to wade through that trash as much as possible, but hey, you know what? We play the good and the bad. Whatever happens, we play it. Last good sports game ever was Tecmo Bowl. That ain't even a hot take, man. That's just straight up fact. You mainly dislike bad AI and characters you can't control. That could be really frustrating. That could be really frustrating. Is Mario Sports? Mario Kart is not sports. It's not sports or racing. It's a party game. Mario Kart's a party game, yo. Just like Smash Bros. It's a party game. It's meant to have your friends together and party. That's what that is. That's why you want me to play Command Mission? I think you'll love it. It's not this is the pinnacle of RPG gaming, but rather this is a fun and charming RPG way. Well, it's on the list and it's gotten some votes, so, you know, maybe we'll end up playing it after... What are we playing right now? Ratchet 7 and 8. Ooh, yeah. Love me some Ratchet. See, Ratchet and Clank. 3D platformer shooter. And I love them because they're well-made games in a genre that I like. You know? And I think a lot of people need to ask themselves, what game genres do you like playing? And then when you think about a franchise, stop trying to hold it to this, like, memory and just, you know, do you enjoy the genre? Yes, no, okay, then hold it to the genre and what that genre should be, and less to what you expected from a prequel. Because most genres, most franchises try to mix it up a little bit between releases, especially Final Fantasy. All right, what do we got here? Oh. It was a trap. Well, that's rude. Barbados. Not affected? You can't bang Barbados? Oh, come on. But he's so horny. Oh, but he can kaboom me. I see how it is. Oh boy. Are you serious? Are you actually serious? It's not dead after all that? I'm dead. I should have multi-healed on Honk probably. Or Honko. Yeah. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, dude? They just spam kaboom, dude. I don't have the healing to freaking get through that. Are you kidding me? I don't have anything that I can do. I just have to attack and hope I have. It's all magical. No. I can't zing anybody on sit out. So just cast multi-heal and... Are you fucking kidding me, dude? This is bullshit. You've gotta be kidding me with this crazy freaking nonsense. Oh my god. Oh yeah, now you just do normal attacks. Thanks, buddy. Bring you in. Taking the lead. Thank you very much for the very funny. taking the lead. Thank you for the $9.57 donation for Dark Cloud. Thank you very much for the generous donation. Dude, this dungeon is so long, I can't die, man. I can't die. This dungeon is way too long. I've been in here for, like, ever. Let's just do a full heal here. Then you can attack and then you can sing. And then hope it works. Of course it wouldn't work. At least he's not kabooming anymore. You should full heal. You should Kazing. And just defend. You stupid son of a bitch. Dude, the double kaboom? That's insane. That's just like crazy amounts of AoE damage every turn that I just do not have the ability to heal through. Okay. Now that I've burned through everything. What luck, a pair of Orichalcum Fangs. Who got him? Change my lineup again. I'm honestly surprised my sub-out party members made that, but the only reason they did is because they stopped casting kabooms after that. So yeah. Oh, okay. Hey buddy, how's it going? Looks like Piccolo. So, you are searching here at last, legendary hero, and all who accompanies with you. I am Sally Ludwig. That you are aware of my... Oh, I am surely knowing that you are aware of my identity. I thought his name was Sally. I guess I got that wrong. Yes. I am Leet Master of Narnia, King of Underworld, the almighty Nimzo. Countless years ago, my existence is becoming more powerful than this of your feeble goddess. The world is already belonging to me. He talks in Leet speak. My pawns have accomplished their duties. But but looks weird because it's like actually not. They don't have any elite words for it. But hero of... Their moves are now important. There were mere players in my game. Okay. For I am chosen by fate. I am more strong than any legendary hero of Goddess herself. Come and see this for yourselves. I will demonstrate to you power of God of Darkness. Oh, it's old Piccolo. I feel like I'm going to die miserably. Alright, first things first is... I think you just attack. He needs to insulate. Let's get some oomph on. Oh, good. I'm glad I did insulate. He only got one attack. That's good. All right, let's get Kabuff up. And then... I don't want to transform her into a dragon. Just Magma Staff for now. Alright, where's the wave of ice? Owie! Actually, you know what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use the prayer ring on him. Just to kind of make sure he gets MP. Because he is the only one with Kazing. Calls for backup! I don't like that. Did the prayer ring break? It did. No. Wait, he had an elfin elixir. What happened to that too? And one thing, BGD, who the hell thought 50% revive was a smart idea? Yeah. Again, like, I like Dragon Quest games, at least the more modern ones, a lot more. But like, there's so much more potential for Dragon Quest games that there could be if they got rid of like things like 50% revive chance. Like, that is just dumb. That's just like, you're already dead, you know, and you're relying on a res to like get you back in the game. And it all it does is create this artificial difficulty. I call it artificial difficulty because it's not actual difficulty. It's you're rolling the dice and you lost the roll, so you just lose. That's not hard. That's just bullshit, you know? If they got rid of it, you think people would whine? I don't know, man. I would take that risk as a game developer. But I would create Zing and Kazing as useful in themselves. Like, Zing would be revive at 25% HP, and then Kazing would be a full revive, you know? And then people would probably just be like, oh, now it's just like Final Fantasy. This is dumb. Just Phoenix Downs. Okay. Well, whatever. Enjoy your RNG game loss, game overs, you know? Because that's all the thing that happens, is you end up getting an RNG game over, and it has nothing to do with how well you played it, how strategically you handled it. It's just you lost the RNG, the end, you know? And I can't... I don't like that. I don't like that. It's DQ, you pretty much know you're getting with a DQ game, both good and bad. Sure, you're right. You know, we literally just talked about that. But I mean, just because you know it's a DQ game doesn't mean that it can't be better, you know? It can always be better. I'm worried about this fight, it's too easy. Maybe I'm just a god gamer. Yeah, unlikely. I'm early level 30. I just started getting Wave of Ice. And we just got our party, like, set up. There's no way this is the end of the game. Or I'm gonna get debated with a final form and get wrecked. My prediction is this is not the end of the game, and something's gonna happen partly into the battle, or I'll have a cutscene loss is another possibility. Like, I win the fight, but then get cutscene loss, which is fine, by the way. A lot of people get really upset about cutscene game overs, and all I gotta say to that is, like, when you get a cutscene game over, all the game is telling you is that the enemy was clearly more powerful and was just toying with you, kind of thing. Or it's like, you know, you lived that long and then this is what happens, kind of thing, you know? It's not a bad thing. It's, just because you win the fight doesn't mean that it wasn't a meaningful victory, you know? You still overcame a foe for a period of time. Yes, VG. Just don't die. Easy. Yeah. Oh, Kasap. I doubt he's susceptible to Kasap, but I should try. If you flat out kick the ass of a boss that you lose in a cutscene afterwards, it's probably because you're over leveled, to be honest. Every cutscene loss I can recall usually is a pretty rough boss beforehand. Yeah, in fact, I was actually going to use Xenoblade Chronicles as 2 as an example, because a lot of the bosses that you lose afterwards kicked my ass. So I don't know. He's summoning harder monsters now. Either way, I don't care about a cutscene loss. It's telling a story and it's giving you a fight as well. You know, like it's saying, hey, here's some content, fight a boss. But you lose in the cutscene for whatever reason in order to push the story in the direction that we want to go. You know, no big deal. It doesn't really bother me. I think just defend at this point. Actually, no, she has the staff. They're mostly okay, but some can be. Yeah, there's a good way and a bad way of doing it, just like everything else, right? There's good ways of doing it and bad ways of doing it. And I think Xenoblade Chronicles 2 does it well. And I think there's definitely games out there that don't do it very well. You know, it's just a matter of like storytelling and game development and, you know, quality. It's just, there's a lot of factors at play. One can only tell, one can only guess, Dracorius. We'll have to find out in 2021 when Disgaea 6 comes out. Which, by the way, I'm also very, very excited about. I personally love Disgaea games. I love the humor, I love the mechanics, I love the style. Everything about Disgaea is fantastic. However, Disgaea 6 is looking much different than your standard Disgaea game, and I really felt like they had it with Disgaea 5 in terms of aesthetic and quality of life. I really was hoping for a fresh face on it, or not a fresh face, but like a fresh Disgaea 5, like, you know, freshen it up a little bit, and then Disgaea 5. But, you know, new units, new story, new mechanics, things like that, you know, like they do with any sequel. But I'm not sure how I feel about the chibi 3D models and stuff. I hated that kind of look with like FF3 DS and FF4 DS. Wasn't a fan. So I don't know how to feel about it. This guy is 6. I'm definitely gonna get it, and I'm definitely gonna play it. And I'm pretty excited about it being on Switch, especially it being an exclusive on Switch, which was an unusual development. But, you know, whatever. This guy is the Zimbabwe dollar of RPG stats. Exclusively only in the West. Oh, okay. So Switch in the US, but PS4 and Switch in Japan. Interesting. I wonder why they did that. There's no reason to, like, limit localization, you know? It's kind of an awkward choice. Maybe they paid for US Switch. Exclusivity or something. Hey! Numbnuts is defeated. Only 10,000 experience. I'm gaining experience, which means there's no more phases. This is over. But there's no way that's the last boss. That was a... He didn't even cast Wave of Ice. That ain't a last boss in a DQ game. You are the admirable fighters, legendary hero, and all who accompany with you. But for you, I have bad tidings. Now it is time for you to observe my true powers in all their glory. Cry if you will, scream if you will, your suffering is a sacrifice. For I am mighty Numbnuts! Now blood of legendary hero will be spilled and lost forever! Don't kill my boy. Hey, it's the secret of evolution. That's exactly what happened in DQ4. Oh, except he's a demon, not a dragon. Oh boy. Alright. Okay, so insulate. Oomph. Oomph. Whoa! Owie! That hurt! I mean, I'm fine with Kaboom because it's just one cast of Kaboom, so like whatever. I should probably use the staff on her. Well, who's missing the most? 80, 70, 80, 90, her. I will eventually not be able to... Okay, no. No, you hit her. You hit... Oh, now here's the 2 attacks. Okay. Nice job, Mozzie. Ah, yes. Wave of Ice. My favorite. Now, he hasn't cast a breath yet that I've seen. But... I don't want to... not cast Insulate and be screwed by a breath later on. Oh, that's fine. That's a breath. That's a breath. Dude, I can't keep up with the debuffing and everything. I think I'm just gonna have to let Kasap go and hope I don't get one shot. Because Honko's gonna run out of MP eventually. And I need that for Insulate. Do I want to go for a heal on him? I think he's got enough HP pool that's not as low as I think it is. Oh, so let's continue to... That's just Wave of Ice. He hasn't buffed himself. I think I'll use on her because her staying alive is probably the most important thing right now. I think you should just... Well, I actually got that magic water. I don't think she should use it on herself, but I think using it on Honko now, when she has the opportunity, might be a good strategy, just because I might not get another opportunity to do that. But I think I'm gonna hold off and just defend, and then Sage's Stone. Oh. Alright, I'm going to use a mid-heal here. Because I'm going to staff and I'm going to AoE heal anyway, so he'll get a lot of HP anyway, and I don't want to waste the full heal's worth of MP. So worst case scenario, he gets hit and stays alive anyway, no big deal. So we're going to definitely put up Insulate again. And we're going to Salvation and Sage's Stone. But he's also going to go last. So if he gets hit a little bit... Okay, he actually went before him anyway, so yeah. Alright, now we can... Oomph. Slam! That was rude. That was very rude. I just got things going again. Very rude. I could double oomph here, but I'm missing a fraction of MP or HP, and I really don't want to leave that to chance. The problem I have is that Honket's HP or MP is getting low, but that's still 2 more oomphs, so let's just do that. And I can use the magic water next turn or something like that. The biggest thing is having oomph on Honk, and I might not even bother oomphing Honket. I forgot to insulate. Oh god, I forgot to insulate. Shit. Okay, that's fine actually, because it kind of is a little bit of a reset here. No damage, which means I can just recast Insulate and top people off again. Yeah, and yeah. It was kind of a lucky turn after that forgetful Insulate. Okay, you gotta heal yourself. Well, actually, let's think about this. Yeah, you just full heal yourself here. And then... Hold on. I don't need to insulate or anything. You attack because you have better attack power, and then you don't have full heal though. Oh, you do. No, you're low on MP. Save your MP, my dude. Full heal here. You attack. Salvation, Mira, and Sage's Stone. Son of a bitch. I might have to use that Stone and forgo oomphs for a little bit of time. Or the potion on Honket, rather. Well, yeah, on Honko, and then not get oomphs. So attack, don't forget Insulate. You actually use your last oomph here. And let's get a double oomph going since we're topped off. I should have put the MP regeneration rink on Honket. Alright, that's actually good. Uh-huh. And Salvation. And Stone. Okay, this is a turn that I can use the, Shit, no it's not. You son of a bitch! I have to use the potion, actually. I have to use it. Well, hold on. let's use this on him. And then if I get another opportunity, I have other things like well, hold on. Don't I have it on him, but he's casting Insulate. What about you? You have one. You have an Elfin Elixir. One party member's AP to the max? Oh, I need to hang on to that. Let's just use a Magic Water on Honkat. You still Insulate. You use a Magic Water on Honko. And then save just them. That was probably the best thing I could have gotten there. At this point, attack. You can oomph now. Make sure Honk is oomphed over anything because all he does is attack and has the highest attack. Gamer Girl Bathwater restores MP. Yeah, totally about that. I don't need MP that bad. Ah, shit. Well, that's it for oomphs unless Nira gets a chance to oomph. That's it. There's no more. So at this point, just staff people. Oh, that's nothing to be done there. I don't know what this does. I thought it res, but it never worked, so... Maybe it casts like buffer or something. I don't know. Just defend. Hey Crixie, what's up? Actually perfect, because it allows me to just heal with the staff on her, and then she can cast Oomph. Oh man! That whap is just like monk ass. Okay, Wave of Ice, my absolute favorite ability in the game ever. I feel like Wave of Ice just... What Wave of Ice does is it completely removes the strategic nature of fighting. You could argue like, oh, but now you have the choice of seeing whether or not buffing is worth it. Let's be honest, things like Insulate and stuff are basically required. You saw how much damage I took without Insulate, and I don't have the healing power to get through that, you know? Like, it removes the value of buffs completely from the game, and just basically, I don't know, there's ways around it to balance around Wave of Ice not being a thing, and that's another thing that I would really just love to see being removed completely. It's just, yeah, that's it. It's another gambling mechanic, right? Yeah, that's exactly it. You know what? No, defend is not worth it. All right, you can oomph though, which is good. Thankfully, I'm topped off, so Mira can still get oomph on Honk, because that's the most important one. Don't do damage? No. Okay, it's fine, but I won't be able to oomph now. Not if I want to conserve resources. I guess you got a good point, VG. Wave of Ice is annoying, but Zing is a bad mechanic. Yes. I think... begins to meditate. Wounds heal? Wait, wounds heal? Hey. Oh, wait, you know what? Hold on. No. I got this. You like Wave of Ice? Well, let me introduce you to my Wave of Ice, bitch! Buffs are too strong otherwise. Like I said, you balance around it. You balance around Wave of Ice not being a thing. That's the point. Obviously, buffs and debuffs are very strong in this game. That's why you would balance around it, you know? Or make it like an intermittent mechanic. Every boss has Wave of Ice. That's the problem. Every boss has Wave of Ice. That's the problem. Intermittently, a boss having Wave of Ice, like, fine, I get it. You know, dispels are a thing. That's fine. Every boss having it, you know, it gets annoying. I mean, it makes every boss basically the same thing, you know? It homogenizes mechanics. Oh, man. Oh, now you're just spamming that shit. I see how it is. All right, well, in this event, I'm going to have to end up healing here because he needs to insulate. And she can't really do anything, but she's going to salvation. And then she will... Ooh. I have not played DQ7. I played DQ8, 11, and then 1 through, well, now 5. Yeah, Kasep away. Oh, God, that hurt. I'm worried that one of the girls are going to get one shot, though, with the defense down. I'm actually really excited for Bard's Tale. Bard's Tale is like... It's going to be one of those hilarious games that just has a really clever self-awareness and humor and stuff. So I'm really, really, really looking forward to what that game has to offer. I don't know what the genre is, though. No, PS2 Bard's Tale. PS2. I didn't even know there was an NES Bard's Tale. I have no idea. I've never heard of that. Also, PS2 is just kind of a remake of it. Double the hugs. I suppose so. You know what? I'd rather her top somebody else off. Let's top you off. Boy, this is lasting a long time. Hey, Bunny, could you just go ahead and keel over now? I'd appreciate that if you could just go ahead and keel over now. Thanks, thank you. And dead. Damn it. Honestly, if it's like meant to be a game that has a lot of humor in it, I'm glad to be playing a more modern release of it, because otherwise a lot of it would be lost in bad writing and old game design. The boss just spams Dispel Gun the entire party every turn. Wouldn't it be more effective to make a constant effect that blocks all buffs outright? Maybe he doesn't have that magic. He's not powerful enough to have that kind of magic. Let's talk Bard's Tale after you play the PS2 version. All right, that's fair, yeah. I mean, I'm still interested in playing it regardless. Really glad this is only 3 MP. If it was any more than 3 MP, man, we'd be in trouble. Blam! No crits. You know, I've just realized. Oh god. Oh jeez. What do you know? Ah, that's so much. Don't do 2 attacks, you shit. I might want to just multi-heal. No. He doesn't have. You know what? That's right. He needs to heal because he's got the MP. Whoa! Ouchie! I just talked about crits and then he gets one on me. What an ass. You know what? I might wanna. That's too much healing. I'll have to full heal myself again. I got lucky there. I did not cast Insulate first, and I did not get the full heal out first, and he did not do anything to, like, put that, you know, turn order against me, so... Lucky! Or maybe just not unlucky. That's kind of how I like to see it. Not unlucky is more appropriate than just not. Frick! Than unlucky, rather. Well, you know, I had to see if I had any kind of special effect. I had to put her in it, you know, just to test it out. Just to make sure it wasn't any kind of special effect or anything. You know. Mom, why are you not wearing anything? Oh, for my combat bonuses, dear. Don't worry about it. I don't like it. Put something on. The one that reads the articles? Dude, the articles were so boring. The articles were so boring. So boring. There were articles? Okay. Oh, fuck. That is not good. That is one of the worst things that could have happened just now. Why does he keep critting every attack all of a sudden? This is not good. Let's get an Omfong. That was a mana culture, so I chose Nier over Bianca. Bianca, you mean the person that I hung out with once ever, and then she tried to treat me like I was her childhood friend or some shit? Screw that leech. She can go back to dirt farming. I think no. Let's attack. Carried me through the first dungeon? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally. With her constant out of MP and dying in one hit. Such a carry. This is not looking good, by the way. I could bring in Slimy and just do a multi-heal or something. Considering it. So I'm getting behind on the heals, but I don't think he's gonna cast it in time. He has multi-heal? Wow. Everybody's got multi-heal except for my actual party members. Let's try it. I think this is good because he's gonna do that and then multi-heal's gonna hit. Boom. Perfect. And it'll heal Honko on sit out. That was actually perfect. Oh, yes! Finally got that crit and brought him down. GG! Get out of here! Whew! I am Grand Master of Narnia, King of Underworld, Almighty Numbnuts. How is it possible? I cannot be defeated. My thing didn't work. Oh, because it's underneath the capture. Yeah, yeah, I haven't set this up for my DS. It's fine. Damn, I tried to do a meme and it didn't work. I am the Zenith Dragon, master and commander of all that comes to pass in the human realm. Although I already told you that a couple times, but whatever. The sound was enough, yeah. Basically, here's what was supposed to happen. I have this thing, It's supposed to do this. Wasted. And instead, it was behind the source, the DS capture source. I forgot to set it up correctly for the DS capture because I haven't captured a DS in like literally a year. So, legendary hero Honko, and your father Honk. It is through the great efforts of you and your family that the world once more enjoys peace. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Gigads? You mean egads? That's enough of all the formal mumbly-jumbly. Maybe it's because I was a human for such a long time, but I'm tired of all that ceremonious whiffle-waffle. Almighty one. Diddly-ha, what? You don't like me like this? Lighten up, my faithful friends. Come on now, Honk. There's a whole bunch of people just dying to meet up with you again, back down on good old Terra-ly Firmly. Oh my god. What do you say? I whisk y'all down to the ground. I could take you there in a gee-whiz jiffy. Wouldn't mind reacquainting myself with the old human element myself. I'll be waiting for you outside. Don't diddly-daddly-daddly too long. I hate him. I hate that. I hate the Netflinders speak. I hate it. Oh. Oh, I'm topped off. Wonder where Dr. Aegon is. Well, how doodly folks, ready to scooch on down to the ground? Then climb aboard, travelers, and hold diddly old on tight. Man, honestly, I didn't think I was going to win that fight. I was really worried about dying there. I thought for sure I was donezo. I see you were able to meet with Madalena, though, only once. I can well imagine the look of joy on her face at such a long-awaited and happy encounter. The people of Lofty Peak hold your mother in the highest regard, Honk. We are all proud to call her our own. Though her earthly time has passed, she will live on evermore in your heart. Oh, I control here from now on? Okay, I was trying to... Bum, 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 bum. So as well as having some of you and Mum and me, I've got a little bit of Grandma and Grandpa on me too, right, Dad? That's amazing. I feel really lucky, don't you, Honkette? Yes, we are lucky, Honko. I mean, assuming it's the last boss, I'm not entirely convinced that it's the last boss. There's too much control here, you know? I never would have guessed it, Honk. Your son, the legendary hero. Talk about being right on your nose, huh? And a chip off the old block he is, too. Listen to yourself, Harry. You can't say such things. What about Nira? Oh, yeah, sorry. A chip off the young and beautiful block in your case, Nira. You're far too good for Honk. Always were. Damn! Well, anyway, everyone here in Codburg is delighted that peace has finally been restored. I'm lapping it up because you're my closest friend and everything. Hey, Rocco, what's up, dude? We really do go back a long way, don't we, Honk? I hope we'll be friends a lot longer to come. He's like 30 and still looks like he's 18. Bum 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 bum. What's up, Asher? By the way, last bosses usually don't give XP. I didn't see that I got XP or not, but yeah. Welcome back to Wheelbrook. Oh, Honk, I remember the day you left our village with your good father Pancreas. Seems like it was only yesterday. No one imagined that the two of you would ever be coming home. But here you are, back with us again. What better gift could you be bringing us than peace you brought to the world? Absolutely overjoyed. You're back, Honk. Honk is back. I'm so happy. Happy! I'm so happy! Okay. Alright, you're happy, I get it. Bum, bum. Oh wow, Crixie, I just saw that tattoo in freaking Discord. That is rad. That's a rad tattoo. I really like that. You have a good artist. Ah ha ha! Tutti frutti! Tutti frutti! Okay. The Grandmaster of Narnia, not so grandiose anymore, eh, Honk? So we can all enjoy the dulce vita at last. You've turned out to be a fitting match for my Nira, Honk. And here is my Bambina. I hardly recognize you, it's been so long. Ah, my beautiful bear of Scadamojaboches. It's wonderful to see you. Oh, so Rodrigo Broccoli is your grandfather of the legendary hero. If I wasn't the man I am, I might almost feel embarrassed. Hello, different grandpa. By birth, you and Deborah aren't actually ours. They were adopted, so they aren't heirs of the legendary hero blood. That's alright, Mom. I know, and so does she, and I love you and Papa more than I could love even my real parents, and although she probably would never come out and say so, I'm quite sure that Deborah feels the same way. Oh, Nira, that's so sweet. Wow. So Nira was adopted, which means the blood of the hero is actually somewhere else. Mr. Broccoli has been going around with a beaming smile on his face. Honk, you've come to visit. Oh, I'm actually worthless and stupid, and I'm the worst pick of all the waifus. Even Nira's sister is a better pick than I am, but you know, I'm glad that I even had a chance because I'm just a simple dirt farmer out here in the middle of nowhere. Nobody loves me, not even my father. Not even the townspeople, nobody, because I'm worthless and stupid and dumb, and I'm the worst. But anyway, it's nice that you were to save the world without me because I wouldn't have been able to help, that's for sure. Anyway, thanks. I never imagined you turned out to be such a force to be reckoned with. You were no use to man or beast the time we went off ghost busting together all them years ago. I'm sure it must be an influence on him, Nira. You keep taking good care of him, huh? Yeah, sure. I hope she finds someone she'll be happy with. Tell us how I really feel. I'm also really ugly. That's also a thing in case you're shallow. Gotta cover all my bases. There. Now we're done. Where are you going? Back home. Your Majesty, you're back. Welcome home, sir. Oh, Your Majesty, King Home. Welcome home, sir. If I wouldn't mind, sir. Everyone's waiting for you in the throne room. Yeah, Nira's speed was what made her sage stoning so good. Like, I mean, I do have the meteorite bracer on her. No, I don't. Wait, there it is. Yeah, meteorite bracer is on her. So yeah, like that helps. But even if you have her speed, she still has really, really high speed. It's 121 speed normally, which is higher than everyone else. So yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Ah, my Majesty, no, do tell. You are always my friend. Welcome home. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud. When I leave this castle with Senor Pancreas a long time ago, we were just little baby. I don't believe this day ever come. It's like a dream. Oh, everyone is waiting for you, friend. Dude, this is a straight up Final Fantasy IV ending. That's the vibe I'm getting. It's Final Fantasy IV. Prove me wrong. I bet you can't. Or even Final Fantasy V if you prefer. Look. Something's happening. The sound of voices drifts by, carried on the wind. Look, my love, look at the children's happy faces. Yes, my darling, they look so happy. Our children have fulfilled the dream we never could. Come, my dear, it is time we do it again and make more babies. Cute rose petals and stuff. Wonder what this looked like on Super Famicom. I'm sure it's pretty close to this, but yeah. Oh my... Oh, it is the end! Really? Wow! Debated, dude. This game was short. Debated, dude. Shortest Dragon Quest yet? I mean, the other ones are definitely short. Like, 1 is definitely shorter, right? But it takes a long time to get through it because of all the grinding. So maybe it's just because there was such little amount of grinding in this one that it is the reason why it was so short. I promised Nira would die. I did. I did predict that Nira would die, and she did not. By the way, hang tight if you are only here for DQ, because we are going to give a full review of the game. We're going to talk about all the stuff regarding this game. Now, keep in mind, the original release of this game is the Super Famicom game, and this is a remake of it on DS, but I don't have anything else to go by, so it is what it is, you know? One of the most painful stories? I never really felt pain or sorrow or anything like that in the storytelling. Now I can watch the movie, yeah. People don't like to be told who to marry. I wasn't, though. I had a choice. His wife is kidnapped, father murdered, gets enslaved, petrified for 10 years, no pain at all. It's not that. It's that it wasn't a very engaging way to tell the story, you know? Like, I don't know. It's very, very basic. Just, hey, I'm the hero, your father dies. Okay, cool, moving on, you know? Like, things happen to him, but they're just so, like... It's not, it's like every other DQ game where the story concepts are really good, but they just don't have a very good way of, like, telling it. It doesn't force or evoke that motion through its storytelling method. It just has the idea of it and just kind of has it there, and just kind of, it's like, you don't really feel it. You're just like, man, that's sad, but nothing is making me feel sad. It's just like, I am evil man, I will destroy you now, blam, your father is dead, haha, you know, like, oh, okay, alright, that sucks. And we'll talk about that in detail as we go into the review. The one Dragon Quest game that I feel like really actually got me was 11. That one got me a lot. Hello, kitty. Hello, kitty, you freaking rascal. What? What do you want? You want more pets and loves? I give to you every day? It's just not enough for you, is it? You gotta have more? You gotta have more, don't you, little kitty? You little fucking cat. You gotta have more pets, don't you? He's just looking at me like, what did I do, man? Just... FF4 came out a year before this. How did you feel about those sad scenes in comparison? I think even on SNES, Square was able to tell a story much more cinematically and thought like feeling provoking than this on the DS, a remake of a game 10 years later. Personally, I feel SNES FF4 was more like able to draw and evoke emotion than this was as a remake of a game that came out in the same time frame. There you go. There you go, kitty. You just rest right. No, you just rest right there. You sleep. It's a nice, comfy blanket on a chair right next to me. You just okay. Just stay. Stay. Oh, stay means stay there, not come over here. Okay, fine. Okay. Dragon Quest 5 finished. I personally feel this is the best Dragon Quest so far. Record your achievements. Yes. Post game. I mean, I guess I'll just save over. Yeah, whatever. Hey, wow, Phenomenon's in this game. How about that? And now it's Finn. Okay. All right. Oh, it's gonna be good to be able to put the TS down. That's for sure. What's next? I think it's Bard's Tale, right? For PS2. Pretty excited for that one. But first, let's review this video game. And let's get some music going. All right, let's talk Dragon Quest V for the Nintendo DS. Let's talk about this. First off, let me just say that rating games is a 5 average, all right? Like when you're collecting data and comparing it against things of the same nature, the middle ground is the mean value, the average. And the middle ground of 0 to 10 is 5. So 5 is average. Wow, how about that? Math and logic means 5 is average, not 7. So if this game is average, if it's okay, it's standard, you know, cool. 5. It's not a bad thing. Heck, 4 isn't even a terrible score. 6 is starting to get up there, you know. I actually came up with a name for the Phenomenon event. Yeah. Phenomenon right here in chat. He does a yearly event he's done 3 times. First year was Zelda, second year was Dark Souls, and this year he's going back to Zelda again, called the Phenomenon-a-thon. I just was making a joke. I was like, why not call it the Phenomenon-a-thon? And he's like, all right. Because he was struggling for a name. He couldn't call it the Zelda, the final Zelda Fiesta or anything. the Zelda Falink Fiesta. All right. Anyway, 5 is average, as you can see. See, 5. This is 0. This is 10. 5 in the middle. Okay, right? 5 is average. 6 is above average. 4 is below average. 7's quite good. 8 is really good. 9 is amazing. 10 is holy shit. You know, the scale, it goes up. Even 3 is, you know, has some redeeming qualities, might be worth it if it's your niche, that kind of thing. Like, the 3 isn't a terrible score either, right? It's pretty bad, but anyway, let's get into it. We do a thing called viewer choice in the channel where viewers vote in for games. These are all the viewer choice games that we do, and we've been doing it for a few years now. There's a lot. We're down to Ratchet. And, for this, since this is a personal choice game, here's the personal choice games. We started with DQ2, and we've only done a handful because we just started doing reviews for all games that we play now. So we've only got about 19. All right. The last one we played was last one we beat was the Magic of Scheherazade. Actually, wow, that actually feels like it was a while ago for that. All right. So we got Dragon Quest V. Bride of the Heavenly Butts. We'll just do Dragon Quest V. Does anybody have the release date for the DS version of this game. Oh, I thought you were pointing up to the release date. What did you do where you feel you need to punish yourself? Oh, I see, okay. North America, February 17, 2009. Wow, that's a pretty late release. Okay. This a little bit. Okay, so let's get into it. Dragon Quest V, of the 5 Dragon Quest games I've played so far, excluding 8 and 11, I think this one is bar none the best yet. Now, obviously, it's on a new generation of console, and it's also a remake of one on the Famicom or Super Famicom, so I can't really judge it all that accurately, but I'm going to do my absolute best. I'm going to treat it as if this is a game that came from the Super Nintendo and it just looks better. That's what I'm going to treat it like. So I'm going to try to treat it like the Super Nintendo release of it. But I can't be too sure about how faithful it is. It's the first time we saw it in the West, so to us it is the original release, right? Slaying Asher is going to buy Ephemeral Fantasia? But why? But why? Why would you do that, man? I want to say, first up, I think the best part about this game was the visuals. So all the towns and environments were actually really well done. There was a lot of good use of color. I kind of like how they use the edge of the town border as like not a straight line, but that's kind of like the grass just kind of goes off or whatever a little bit. All the environments are really good texturing, especially considering this is a DS game. Obviously, there was no 3D in the SNES, but I imagine the sprite art was very similar in comparison, but I can only assume. Either way, even as a 2009 DS remake, the game was very vibrant and colorful, and there was a really good monster animation sprites. Like, that alone is just like super cool. Everything about monster animations was really, really, really well done, and that takes a lot of effort and work to make sprite animations look so good. It wasn't just flashing pictures that attack, you know, like they made animations for them. That's good. Sprite animations, every frame of animation is a unique picture that they have to hand draw in pixel art. So it's not like you take a 3D model and you just move it. You're hand drawing each individual frame to get that animation, and it was really high FPS, really smooth, really good animations. Everything about it was great. Honestly, I think the visual quality of this game was top notch. Any kind of RPG of this era and of this caliber would be lucky to have that kind of visual fidelity. So I'm going to give it an 8 overall. Already saved 100? 100 what? Oh, your purchase. Oh, that's good. Sweet. Out of curiosity, two things. First off, are you guys gonna go for digital or disc PS5? 2, as I'm talking about the video game, feel free to offer your opinions and thoughts on each score as well. I really appreciate your guys' input, and sometimes you guys remind me of things that I'd forgotten about. That's really important, and that does affect the score, but more than that, I just like hearing what you have to say. So, anyway, on to audio. The audio of the game wasn't great, but it wasn't, like, bad either. And it wasn't, I would say it's definitely above average. And let me explain why I feel like this. DQ music and sound effects and audio design has always kind of felt a little lacking. And it's not that it's bad, it's that it could be so much more than what it is. It just kind of has a very sort of like most of the tracks are mostly sort of kind of just almost generic in a way, but at the same time very much feeling like that DQ composition feel. Like you know it's DQ when you're hearing DQ, but there's not a lot of depth or layers to each track. It's very, generic castle music, generic cave music, and usually what ends up happening is the battle themes and the boss battle themes excel, but one of the problems that I really hate with like final boss themes with DQ games is they tend to just like throw a lot of like important elements of music out the window. Like there's just no melody, or it's just kind of like belongs more in a movie than it does in a video game, and maybe they're just trying to be more cinematic, but it doesn't mesh well with the very classic feel of RPG. You want a classic bop to go along with it, and you don't always get that with DQ. The music is very, very much thematic to DQ and thematic to its world, but sometimes it feels like it just kind of falls short in really good presentation and depth to the music. There's not a whole lot of like production value to a lot of the tracks. It's very simple, not a lot of like instruments are used, even though they're trying to be like symphonic, and it just kind of can seem to not quite get there all the time. And I felt this way for just about every single DQ game, but they have made improvements with each game as they go on. And overall, I think the overall music quality is good. Sound design is very good. They use the classic DQ sound effects, but they kind of like polish out a little bit more of the harsher tones, like menu sounds and level ups, to be more in line with modern sound design, and that's good. Overall, I would say it's not something that I really look forward to in a Dragon Quest game, and I don't think anybody really does. I would actually argue a lot of what makes Final Fantasy so much more well loved in the West is that they deliver when it comes to audio OST. Like, they deliver when it comes to OST. Every single game, it is jam-packed full of bops, with probably 12 being the hardest one to get into in terms of that category. So, music matters a big deal, and while you don't dislike the tracks, you don't really feel super attached to them. And I was whistling along, I'm enjoying the tracks. They were good tracks, but I wouldn't praise them. I would say, hey, music's all right. It's there and it's not bad. If you don't notice that it's bad, that's a good thing. But if you don't notice that it's good, then that's not really a good thing either, right? It's just there. And the battle theme in this game was good, but that's just one theme. I really liked the battle theme. It was probably the highlight of this entire game's OST. Not only that, but I think there were only 10 tracks in the entire game. You had the battle theme, the boss theme, the last boss theme, a couple cave themes, and then the world map theme, and then 2 town themes, and I think that's it. Castle theme and town theme. There couldn't have been more than 15 tracks in the entire game. It's a really small OST, and they reuse a lot of the tracks, of course, obviously, because it's like, here, you're in a cave, Okay, great, all right. So, while good, a little bit short-sighted in vision, and not quite as bop heavy as you would like. Very traditional, very harpsichord-y sort of feel for every castle theme as you always get, but it feels very DQ, and I think that's also really important that it stays with that feeling of being DQ, because that's what you want when you get a DQ game. You want that DQ game, yeah? I know it kind of dragged on towards the end when it happened, but I thought it was a nice touch for DQ5 to have you watch your father get beaten to death, and it's an actual combat encounter. I liked that too, yeah, instead of making it exclusively to NPC cutscene, yeah. It was really neat having to sit there and let yourself get beat up. That was a very good way of kind of introducing interactive storytelling, which is not something you often see in DQ, so I was about it. Oh yeah, the dual screen on visual, excellent, really excellent. The use of the dual screen in this DS version was very, very good, so yeah, part of the visuals. Overall, anyway, as far as audio goes, I'm going to give it a 6. I think it was fine, but it didn't really excel anywhere. But it certainly wasn't like your average, you know, nameless OST. It was okay. It was good. It has some jams, but we're sitting here playing Persona 5 with one of the best OSTs ever written. I mean, it's kind of hard to, you know, when you have things like this to look forward to. Were there any tracks I outright hated? The last boss theme wasn't super great. It was okay. It just felt more ambient than like some awesome hot jam to get your blood boiling, you know? I didn't hate it. I just thought it was kind of meh. Gameplay, it's Dragon Quest, y'all. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. It's Dragon Quest. It plays and feels exactly like Dragon Quest would. The game balance is a lot better. It still has 50% zing nonsense. There still feels like there's like a lot of points in the game where all of a sudden you're just like getting exploded and you have no idea how you're supposed to deal with it. But we managed. I think we only ended up like dying a couple times, which is pretty good. Mostly on the big M that you get for the magic key or whatever, the ultra key, the ultimate key. I didn't dislike the game at all in any way, shape, or form. I think everything was at least, you know, above average. So we're getting there, but the gameplay didn't really super capture me, and it being so like homogenized across every boss, you know? There were no unique mechanics between bosses, basically. Like, they have different breath, they have different AoE, they have different debuffs, but in the end it's just take damage, heal damage, take damage, heal damage, take damage, heal damage. You know, it's just the same. There wasn't like a thing you have to worry about, oh, this one's weak to this element, or you have to worry about this debuff, or you have to worry about this mechanic, or, you know, like, where's the enemy design that is more than just this one does physical damage and this one does magical damage and then attacks, you know? That's really kind of my bigger gripe with Dragon Quest games, is that they don't add a lot of variety in mechanical design for bosses. They throw a wave of ice and massive damage behind everything and just call it good, and then just scale it, and then that's it. And while it's not bad because the overall combat design of the game is good because it's sound, it's balanced enough to the point where you should be able to win any encounter, you have the tools, and you have a lot of versatility in your tools. One thing I will say about this game is the monster party member system was really neat, and it was way less annoying than any other monster party system I've ever used. However, there comes a point in the game where you get your 4 family members and it's like, what else do you want? Like, for me, I never wanted to use anything else. I want to use people that have story and character and depth to them, because they're more interesting than random monster number 52. I don't give a shit about random monster 52. I don't want to use random monster 52. He means nothing to me. I want to use my wife and my kids as we, like, you know, this family that conquers evil. That was the coolest. I loved that. What should have been, the only thing that could have made that better is, like, my kid was more than 8 years old defeating the ultimate evil of Doom. Like, come on. Let some more time pass, you know, develop the story a little bit deeper, and then he's of age, and then he can actually muster the strength to be the hero. And it kind of felt like the game ended very abruptly, where it's just like, you know, you have your family, you finally did everything, you got everybody together and rescued and safe, and then, like, you just kind of get thrown some stuff, some random gear, and then boom, game over. Like, oh, all right, okay, well, we'll get that on story and design, but that does kind of affect the gameplay, because 90% of the time I'm struggling with these monsters that are eventually going to get benched forever. It almost felt like the monster system was like an archaic resurrection of the DQ3 mechanic of the monsters in your party, or was that DQ4? I think it's DQ3. Chapters of the Chosen? where you get Healy and stuff. I think that's 3. Anyway, the monsters gets bonkers strong. Great. I don't care about them. Don't care about them. That's 4. Okay. So it almost feels like a mechanic being kind of like brought back from 4, where there's points in the game where you're going to be without your party members, and since we can't really balance the rest of the world around your one party member, we're just going to make you collect monsters so we don't have to balance anything. That's what it felt like. It felt like instead of balancing the game or changing the environments or changing the monster encounters based on what time in the game you are, they were just like, yeah, we'll just give you monster party members to cover the losses, and okay, have a good time, you know? I just, it's like, can you imagine FF4, but instead, like, whenever you gain and lose party members throughout the course of time, you just have, like, random monsters in your party instead, just to cover any kind of gaps, instead of having, like, game balance to where, you know, it's balanced around your actual current party as opposed to just throwing some monster party members and we're just going to scale normally. That's what it felt like. It felt like a cop-out. It felt like a cop-out to just not have to worry about a more in-depth game design. Now, granted, the actual monster system itself is quite extensive. You can get just about any monster in the game, and they all have their own sets of abilities and stuff. They can equip equipment and armor and stuff, and I'm sure they get great OP and everything, but monster mechanics as party members is a cop-out for character development and design. They could have just given you party members with actual character and depth and dialogue, but instead they gave you just empty monsters that make sound effects and just give them a random toolkit and done deal. They don't have to write anything, you know? It's the same in any kind of monster mechanic story. Look at Pokemon. What's the story of Pokemon? Go be the best. Great. Why have character depth and growth when you can just have monsters? One of the things that bothers me about those types of games as well is that monsters will frequently become underpowered as new ones become available, and you've invested so much in this other monster, you like the kit that they provide you, but now Monster 2 has made themselves capturable, and Monster 1 is now complete garbage. His stats will start tapering off, and he'll be garbage. And then you gotta level up with a brand new monster all over again and do the same bullshittery, and it's frustrating. It's great for those that like to grind. It's great for those that like to min-max. It's great for those that like to be OP. But as far as like pacing and flow of the game's progress, it's a hard cutoff. You're just like slicing it off. Like, whap! Now you gotta stop. You got this wall. Grind. You know? And you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't force a player to grind just because you are too lazy to balance out a game in order for them to just play it. You know? Cat, please. Stupid cat getting into the things that he shouldn't. Then he's surprised when it falls on top of him. But that being said, it's not like Dragon Quest V did it poorly. In fact, I've said before many times that this was definitely the best Dragon Quest game to date so far. It had way better balance, a lot more extensive unit design, a lot of different options and party compositions you could have because of the monster mechanic. They could have just not given you a monster party mechanic, and then you'd be really screwed. Lots of grinding would have to happen, but I'm sure they would have changed things up to that. And one thing that bothered me, though, is it felt like when I finally got my family together, the game was over. I got one dungeon with them. Okay. I wanted to have more time. That was awesome. I was so hyped for that. So I felt like there was a lot of cool concepts and possibility in the gameplay, but it felt like I kind of got a little blue-balled with a lot of the stuff. It was just like always building it up and then never actually giving it to you until the end, and then it's like, oh, just kidding, just for 5 minutes, LOL. Okay, all right. Thank you, I suppose. And I know there were other human party members, but they were just like random NPCs or Sancho or something like that, which I didn't care about either. But either way, I think once again that this is a really good example of like your classic JRPG gameplay. You know exactly what you're getting yourself into. It definitely has some frustrations with DQ-isms like half chance zing and some random enemies that'll just explode your faces off out of nowhere and a couple other things. But overall, we're giving it a 7. Story. Now, again, this was one of those games. This was probably the DQ game that I loved the story more than anything. I really loved the whole family coming together aspect of the game. One thing that DQ always does is, well, at least in the games that I've played, is they've made your lineage and your family matter in some regard. They really play off of the very, very generic tropiness of blood of the hero, you know, family line of the hero, the legendary hero, you know, the chosen one, and then the ultimate evil over here. It's in every single one, and it's kind of a tired trope, but again, it's what you kind of expect with DQ. And DQ does this thing of having really neat concepts in their stories, but not really knowing how to tell the story in a way that really evokes emotion and draws out the ideals that they're trying to portray. Like, for instance, we were talking about it earlier with your dad dying. It was just like, at first, you know, it was kind of cool with how like you fight and then he holds you hostage and he's like, I can't fight, and you have to sit there and watch him die. That is a great example of like more interactive storytelling. I've played a lot of games in the past recently where like there might be a cutscene and you're about to like hit someone dead and they make you press the button. They make you press the X button to strike them down, you know? Like, that's powerful. That is really powerful. It's putting control in your hands and telling you that you have no control. It's insanely good. It's interactive, and it gives you that feeling of power, but then strips it away from you, making you feel what the character is trying to like the developers are trying to make you feel what the characters are feeling. And that feeling of helplessness that you get as you watch your dad get beat up, you have to take it. You have to just sit there and watch it happen. The only thing that they could have done better is by letting you actually control Pancreas the whole time, and then when you get to that battle, like, you can't attack. Like, you get a game over or something happens, you know, like you attack the enemies and then the boss is like, I warned you, and then, you know, it's like, you know, game over, do it again. But then providing you a save point right before then to make sure that that's not a thing, you know? So the fact that you didn't have control of Pancreas limited the impact that could have had. Now, granted, it's an old game, it's understandable. However, this is a remake in 2009. They changed the AI from 4 into the DS version of 4. They could have done that with Pancreas as well. But either way, it's like, it's definitely a step up in a way of like interactive storytelling and making you be able to feel and experience what's going on, as opposed to just words on screen, which is what the rest of the game was. Just words on screen and no, like, all right, I'm going to compare. I don't like doing this, but I'm going to compare Final Fantasy and DQ again, right? What is one thing that you remember about, like, I don't know, Final Fantasy VI over any other Final Fantasy in terms of like cutscenes and storytelling? To me, that would be very easy to answer. It's that all the characters, there's tons of different sprites for all the different little things that your characters are doing. You know, they have like the little ducking down, the nodding, the fighting stance. There's all these different sprites. The sprite sheets for Final Fantasy VI are actually really impressive. There's a lot of different unique sprites that they use to kind of like show a little bit more in the storytelling, give you a little bit of more of a visual cutscene effect, as opposed to just figures just idle walking, standing there exchanging dialogue, you know, doing the little idle walk the whole time. And like there's such a big difference in quality of storytelling between those two things. How you present your story versus just how you write it is so big of a deal. It's a huge deal. One of my biggest gripes with games like Tales of Berseria was like it had novels of text and it meant nothing because it was just talking heads on a screen with the most generic, nonsensy, tropey dialogue ever. I hated it. It was worthless as a storytelling mechanism. And this is definitely a game where they could have expanded on that a little bit more. Even FF4 did it a little bit. FF5 really picked it up, you know? I mean, when they were doing it, Chrono Kid, it was a sacrifice. They weren't expecting it to be reversed ever. They intended to die. And at the moment that it happens, it's still very thought-provoking, and they do it well. They have little sprites and animations for their actions that they're doing. You know, there's more than just talking heads. They jump around and they do things, and they jump off airships, and there's stuff going on. There's a visual representation of what they're doing other than just, you know, idle walking, talking animations, you know? And I think that's really important. That's a big freaking deal. It's so much more of an interactive and deep story when you can show things that are happening and give like a kind of play, you know? Like you're playing a game. Games should have, it's a visual, you're playing a game and it's an RPG. You should have visual storytelling. That's part of it. Cinematic storytelling. And again, the concepts of the story were really cool. You're not even the chosen one. That's awesome. I love that I'm not anybody special. That's one of the cool things about this game's story is that it kind of debates you into thinking that you might be special, but you're not. You're just the father of the hero. You don't even have the hero's blood in you. Your wife does. Which is another really cool thing. Like you marry into somebody. Well, they could have done it way better. It's just kind of like, hey, you're married now. Okay, cool. Bye. But they, you know, very sudden, very quick. But that's pretty much par for the course for NES and SNES kind of storytelling. Is you know, everything sort of just gets told very quickly and concisely. Even Final Fantasy VI is guilty of this. The amount of dialogue is actually much more limited. It's straight to the point. You know, here's the action, thing happens, go. You know, like, I doubt any other game could have done that much better at that era. So, to that end, it's very cool. It's a very, very neat concept. It's a very awesome a way of introducing a different way of telling the hero's story. And you know, you marry, you have kids, and you think a lot of the same things that happen to you are going to happen to your wife and your kids, but they don't. And you end up, you know, going to save the world together as a family. And that's an awesome concept. They're lacking that little bit of zing, no pun intended, that really spices it up and gives it a much more fulfilling storytelling experience. To make me feel sad about my dad, to make me feel sad about my wife going away, to make me feel sad about my kids being in danger, because it just didn't. I never cared one moment about any of the characters at all. I just didn't. Well, I mean, I kind of did. It was like, cool, I like these characters. Let's go save the world together, you know? And it didn't like the zing, it just had a 50% chance to fail. Boom! But, you know, taking this into the context of an SNES game, you actually have a very high-tier, high-caliber storytelling experience comparatively. And I would argue that the DS version probably doesn't spice things up too much because it wanted to deliver the SNES game experience just with better visuals and stuff. And so they didn't want to detract from what made the story good already. They just wanted to retell the game story in a better visual environment. So if you compare something like Dragon Quest V to the army of generic RPGs on the SNES, you're not going to get much better than this and Final Fantasy, in my opinion. The only things that really compare or maybe like Lufia 2, or maybe Breath of Fire 2 a little bit. But even then, Breath of Fires can be a little kind of generic and tropey without a lot of the same kind of storytelling methods. But overall, I think, generally speaking, you're at the higher echelon of storytelling for the SNES era, and that matters. So we're gonna give it 8. Game design. Game design. It's one's kind of hard because, I mean, there really wasn't anything that excelled, and there wasn't really anything that was flawed here. Like, yeah, you have Zing at 50%. I hate that. It's stupid. But I mean, I got on the DQ train knowing this well ahead of time, that Zing is bullshit. But at the same time, it doesn't forgive it just because I knew. You know, just because you knew better doesn't make it any less worse. It's like, hey, I'm going to play Ephemeral Fantasia because I know it's garbage, and then saying, game design 7 out of 10, because I knew it was garbage before I went ahead and played it. Obviously, that's dumb. Like, just because you knew it was bad doesn't mean you forgive it for getting into it. It's still bad. And Zing is bad. It's just bad. It's just a freaking shithole mechanic, and I hate it. That being said, it's really the only major flaw of Dragon Quest games. Other than that, you're getting your standard JRPG, turn-based action. It's good, it's fine. Nothing really stands out, nothing really flawed. Wave of Ice is annoying, but yeah, like that's kind of more of a gameplay thing where it's like every boss is just the same mechanic, but it definitely has to do with game design. Overall, like, game direction was really good. I never felt like I didn't know where I needed to go all that much. There were a couple points where I was kind of lost, but more or less, it did a good job of getting me to where I needed to go without too much trouble. And while it was a little bit short of a game, it didn't really matter all that much. They did an awesome job with how they managed to pair up the DS screens, the top and the bottom DS screen. Was really cool, and definitely one of the highlights of the game's design. Alfina, thank you for the 37 months resub. Thank you very much. You're forever thankful for this lurk space. Well, I'm happy to provide. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. Thank you for the resub. So that being said, while the DS screen dealy was super cool, and there were definitely a lot of other aspects to the game design that were neat, but there was also kind of a couple that were just kind of there. Overall, the biggest part is the double DS doing the DS screen doing what it did. So we're gonna go ahead and give it a 6. I really enjoyed it. 8. Boom. This one's always so easy for me. I know exactly how I enjoyed a game. Like, I pop in a game and start playing it. It's like I already know what the score is going to be as soon as I get into it, just about, This was fun. It was a great DQ. I really had a good time with this, and I'm really looking forward to DQ 6. I really hope that it improves itself over DQ 5 and allows itself to blossom into a much more fulfilling storytelling element. But having played DQ 8 and 11, I know where the cap is, and I don't think it's going to be there. I'm pretty sure DQ 11 is like the first DQ game to have an actual good, well-told story up until a certain point. Okay, pretty damn good scores if you consider that DQ4 got a score of 553745, which was 29 out of 60. DQ5 has a score of 15, 21, 29, 35, 43 out of 60. That is a good score. I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. As a game, overall, 7 out of 10. I think it's a solid 7 out of 10. Very good game. Very good JRPG feel. I liked everything about it. I think the game was well done. It just wasn't amazing, right? It wasn't amazing. It was very good. It just wasn't spectacular. There's nothing wrong with that. It's an absolute must play. You gotta play DQ5. It's good. Play it, you know? But you're not gonna be blown away by it. You're gonna be impressed. You're gonna be content. You're gonna be enjoying yourself.